I'd like to share a reflection on remembrance in an age of pandemic. Memory has sustained us as Jews throughout thousands of years of challenging history. Our faith and our people are founded on the collective memory of the revelation at Sinai and our shared experience over millennia from diaspora to diaspora. Scripture repeatedly exhorts us to remember in Exodus and in Deuteronomy and other places. Indeed, our Torah commands us always to remember the past days, understand the years of every generation. Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov taught his disciples that spiritually forgetfulness leads to a state of permanent exile, while remembrance is the secret of redemption, collective and individual. Much of life is imponderable in its pace of change and invariably takes us by surprise. Therefore, the anchor and consistency of past memory is vital in providing us with guidance, context, and the wisdom of experience. This year, with the sudden advent of COVID-19, we are living through an object lesson in how fleeting life can be, and outside our ultimate control. Many of the norms we have lived with for so many years and taken for granted are suddenly no longer applicable. This extends to myriad certainties in our lives, and it includes important communal fixtures like the annual Jewish Cenotaph Parade to recognize and honor Jewish military service to the Crown, which has for now become largely virtual. Importantly, this event is not only about remembrance itself, but also about appreciating and understanding the experience and sacrifice of earlier generations. This element of looking backwards helps us enormously to go forward and contextualize what we are living through in a most helpful and reassuring way. When dealing with soldiers suffering PTSD in the aftermath of war, I have seen how vital it is not to gloss over past experience, however painful, and to support people to remember even the most traumatic of life events, and then build rituals of memory in order to lay toxic demons and nightmares to rest. In this way, memory profoundly honors and supports both the living and the dead. William Gladstone once wrote, "Show me the manner in which a nation or community cares for its dead, and I will measure the tender sympathies of its people and their loyalty to high ideals." Certainly, people in professions that encounter death and loss every single day, including caregivers, clergy, and medical practitioners, have long understood the importance of channeled and ritualized remembrance, collective and personal. It is an established therapeutic principle that it is vital for healing and learning that we reflect and remember and not ignore or suppress. By this, we can go on living our lives in meaningful ways that honor those who have gone before us and learn precious lessons from their accrued wisdom, deep experience, and sacrifice. Moreover, it is indeed a truism that those who do not learn the lessons of history are destined to repeat them. In light of all this, we must remind ourselves that memory is precious, and remembrance is not only a duty but a great privilege. When we do that, our gain is to know that no challenge is insurmountable, and no travail hopeless, whether crisis, war, or even pandemic. For over our long history, our predecessors and patriarchs faced all of the above and more, yet survived and flourished. So too, with God's help, will we. Remembering such remarkable Jewish survival and sacrifice can only fortify us against the challenges of the moment. AJEX, the Association of ex-Jewish servicemen and women, is built upon this august foundation and is widely recognized inside and outside our community as the definitive voice of Jewish veterans. The current Armed Forces Jewish community, the AFJC, is the counterpart organization, guarding the flame of continuing Jewish service and memory. Together, these two strands form a formidable association for the remembrance of Jewish military service in the UK and allegiance to the Crown. May we we always cherish memory, even as we recognize that it is only by looking back that we can truly see ourselves for.